Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Century Link Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here's Robinson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Throwing on first down. Day. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Day is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Off the play fake. Day. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 7 catches, 81 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge... Huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Off play action. Day looking deep downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
3-19.
On 3rd down, Day. It's complete. Henry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 carries, 67 yards.
And only 7 carries in last week's game. And I just don't know how any runner can really get loose and feel like they're into the game with that few carries. You got to get that number up to around 15.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They run with Harris. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for 2nd down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, That requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how you guys are going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
The 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Watch it now, Barney.
On play action, they'll throw. On the move to his left. And he fires one incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Harris, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Off the play fake. Day. His throw incomplete.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side complete. It's Harris. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now back to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue.
To throw on 2nd down, Day. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, Day. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Blue 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a gain there of 11 yards. So we are at halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 1st and 10, Day finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Day. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Off play action. Day. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
All right, here we go.
On third down, that's Terry. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And his kick is good. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw here. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the...
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
He'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Will Lutz on for the point after. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Henry. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Operating from the gun, Day. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This from 55 yards out. And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They need a little more time and a little more yardage to give them a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Niners, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis